Hi guys, it's Martin here from Westronics. Today I'm going to show you how to fix Ford Transit Ford Mondeo diesel lazy starter motor. Now let's move on and see how it's done. Now guys, first thing we have to do is we have to test our starter. We have the starter mounted onto the ground device, and that's our positive lead. We just touch the big connection and touch the small one. As you can see, our starter is it's turning very slow, and there's loads of smoke coming out of it as well. And beside that, the starter is very oily. It's a diesel, it's a mixture of a diesel and engine oil. Now guys, we're going to remove the motor from the starter. We're going to take off the 13 nut on top of the solenoid, which holds the wire coming from the motor, and two long bolts which are running along the starter. That's an 8 socket. Now when we have this done, pull off the wire, just move the motor a bit, and we can take the motor off. As you see, there it is, there's still smoke coming out of it. Now guys, motor is off. Now sometimes what happens is the plate, which sits on top of the gears, comes with the motor. Just put it away. Now it's time to remove the armature with the brush box from the body. To do that, just press the shaft against something, shove it down, and you can grab the armature and just pull it out like that. Now let's have a look at our brush box. As you can see, this brush box, there's a lot of dirt here. That's all because of the diesel leaking onto it, which is often enough the cause of the problem with the brushes. Now we are going to pull off the brush box off the armature. Comes awful easy. And as you see, the commutator of the armature is quite dirty. We want to give this one a rub of sandpaper. Now, and here, as you see, the brushes are stuck inside. What should happen if the brush box is good, the brushes should come out. But if they are worn down, they won't. Now guys, to remove the brush box from the aluminium cover, we use a 6 socket and take 2 nuts out of the cover. Now with our nuts removed, we can take the brush box off. Now guys, we're going to fit new brush box onto the armature. This is a new brush box I have. As you can see, the brushes are coming out full distance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the socket in here to hold the brushes back. It's going to make it easier to put the brush box onto our armature. To do this, you need 23 socket, and you need to put it in the vise, hold it tightly, and I'm going to show how to do the rest of it under the different angles, so it's going to be easier for you guys to see it. Now we have our socket into the vice grips, and I can show you how to fit the brush box onto the socket. The important thing is, while you're sliding the brush box over the socket, is that the open side of the socket has to be coming out this direction, as it's shown here now. Now just take our brush box, shove back 2 brushes with your fingers, pull it over the socket. Now pull the 3rd one away, pull the 4th one away. Now brush box is sliding down into the socket. Take it off, and as you can see, socket is in the brush box now, is holding the brushes back. Now the reason we've done that is because we can take the brush box now, put it down onto the armature, and just slide it over. Makes this job much easier. Now it's time to put our cap back onto the armature. The cap is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter what way, if it's turned this or the other way, it will still fit onto the starter. Put the cap onto the brush box and make sure you match the openings with the threads inside. Now put our bolts back into it and tighten them. Now when we have this done, it's time to take our body. Now make sure you clean it before you assemble it. Now take our armature. Now what you have to do is you have to put your hand inside there and hold your finger on top of the armature there, otherwise the magnets will pull it in violently and the brush box is going to slip off the commutator. Now, and just let it down slowly. Make sure the grommet slides down the opening here. Let it go over it slowly. Now when this is done, our motor is assembled. We can put it back onto the starter. Now guys, when we have our motor assembled, it's time to put the motor onto the starter. Just make sure you have 4 gears in it. There's a little ball at the bottom of the bushing there, and the plate goes over the gears. Now guys, we have our driving mount onto the device. Take our motor. As you can see, there's a little square cut here, and the square cut goes down the rubber grommet here, which is at the back of the solenoid. Just take the motor down, jiggle it, and it will go down. Now, put our wire back onto the solenoid, put 2 bolts down the body, and tighten them. Now guys, we have everything tightened. 2 main bolts holding the motor, nut holding the solenoid, holding the wire onto the solenoid, and 2 little bolts holding the brush box onto the back cover. Now, when you're doing it yourself, wash out the starter. We didn't wash it for the video, but just do it yourselves. Now it's time to test our starter. As before, the starter is mounted on the vise and the vise is grounded. Take our positive. As you can see, the starter is flying. And that's it. Job's done.